Houston is a dynamic city, a city of layers, and what often stands out is the contrast between the built environment and the lush, vigorous Gulf Coast element of nature. Where it gets really interesting is when those elements meet and start to converge. That sense of overlap and transparency and blurring of boundaries is something we look to in our work. It's bringing nature in and extending spaces out, but we're also reaching further to how can we harness light, shadow, changing movements of clouds, and atmospheric conditions and bring them into a space, into one's life to be lived in a home. The heart of our work in architecture is not building mass, it's dissolving spatial conditions and creating a dynamic play of forces which blur the boundary between interior and exterior space. This is the space of life, and it sets our work apart. It creates experiences and moments in a home with light and shadow and reflections that have a sense of wonder that elevate the spirit and connect each project to its site.
The name Intexure means to weave or interweave and relates to our interdisciplinary practice of connecting architecture, interiors, landscape, and the technical craft of building together in a cohesive process. How we achieve this blurring of boundaries between indoor and outdoor space is always based on the project specifics.
Today, we're going to show you 3 Houston homes that use different strategies to achieve this. These homes are of contrasting lot sizes and scales. Consistent principles and values are reflected in the design, guiding clean lines, open spaces, honesty of structure and materials. Each home has its own unique character that comes from the unique aspects of the site and the needs of its owners, along with materials and finishes that are tailored to each client.
The Chenevert House is located in the Museum District. It's part of a development we did addressing urban infill that set a new typology for home size and land use. Denser than a single-family lot, but with additional green space and first-floor living not often found in typical developments. The concept for this home located the mass in an L-shaped form, opening up an internal courtyard. The courtyard extends through the living and kitchen areas with open views and creates a permeable boundary of interlocking spaces. We narrated an entry sequence where one arrives through the courtyard garden first before entering the home. Stepping off the street into the garden is like an unexpected oasis, while views of each room offer unique vantage points to experience the garden in different ways. The light-filled kitchen, dining, and living embrace the water element and reflections of the sky. The master bedroom terrace with built-in adjacent coffee bar on the second floor is the perfect place to start the day. Third floor flex space connects to outdoor living and larger views. These carefully organized vistas bring nature in and make the home feel bright and open while controlling the views. The courtyard dynamically activates the space with fluctuating senses between indoor and outdoor space. Tripartite House is based on 3 vertical stratas, the first floor extending outward, the second floor private looking inward, and the third floor opening to the sky and larger city views. Set on a busy street, we located the garage to the rear and created a linear form flanked by garden spaces. A bermed rain garden with a grove of river birch anchors the corner, extending to a koi pond at the entry. 3 cast-in-place concrete walls form solid elements, channeling and framing the views from infill glass. One of the challenges with this site was how to give the home its unique presence, yet at the same time fit in with other homes we designed to the north and the east, along with our architecture studio to the west. The street facade responds to these influences and creates a welcome presence along the street. The zinc-clad cantilevered volume that floats above the entry visually connects indoor and outdoor space. Rainwater is poetically captured in the bog portion of the rain garden, connected to the koi pond bridging the entry. The surrounding river birch and garden with bermed edges strategically create a boundary at the street while visually masking the sidewalks and street from the living space so that one's eye travels from the edge of the green space to the trees beyond. The cast-in-place board-formed concrete expresses honesty in materials and reveals the memory of how it was made. leaving the impression from the formwork. These structural members intersect with elements of the exposed steel frame and create a contrast in textures and expression between solid and infill elements. The home employs a variety of sustainable materials and energy-minded features, including high-performance insulation and AC system, low VOC paint and other materials. The glazing features a hydrophilic nanocoating with self-cleaning properties. Rainwater is harvested in a modular underground collection system connected to the pond and a biofiltration feature designed to meet the site's landscape irrigation demand. The home includes low-flow plumbing fixtures and energy-minded features. The third floor opens upward to capture rooftop views to enjoy the evening skyline and sunset above the fray. Products, materials, and furnishings were carefully selected to integrate with the interiors and the overall design concept of the home to create cohesiveness and a feeling of serenity throughout the home. This Piney Point home in the memorial area uses a different approach to create transparency. As a larger home on an ample lot, we wanted to avoid creating a home that was just a big block, trapping internal spaces. Instead, we stretched the home along the lot so each space could capture and respond to exterior views, as well as allowing us to preserve a mature, majestic oak and focus views around it. We located the garage and gym off the busy street frontage. We inserted parallel walls that act like an aperture, carefully connecting specific views through the home and bringing light and nature into the center. So the heart of the home is centered on the majestic oak. The idea upon entering was to see the branches beckoning and outdoor spaces ahead, blurring the boundary between indoor and outdoors, embracing nature into the living space, while at the same time bringing living space out. Natural materials like wood and limestone reflect nature again and bring warmth and livability to the space. Views to the front are organized to the more public spaces like the office and circulation, allowing transparency to the front, while views to the backyard open up to more private spaces. Carefully planned sightlines allow us to embrace nature and views in all areas of the home. We hope you've enjoyed seeing how these very different homes reflect aspects of their site and the owner's needs to create unique solutions, blurring the boundary between indoor and outdoor space. To see more of our work and other videos like this, visit our website where you can also find links to social media. Thanks for watching.